The cursor blinked in the search field. 3:47 a.m. Another sleepless night. Another desperate attempt to fill the void growing inside my chest like a silent tumor. Social media had become my only companion after Marcus broke up with me via text. 3 years thrown in the trash in 140 characters. Ding! An Instagram notification cut through the sepulchral silence of the apartment. Gabriel Miranda. Official. You have the kind of eyes that hold untold stories. My blood ran cold. How did he know I was awake? How did he know I needed to hear exactly that? I clicked on his profile. Professional photos, perfect smile, apparently perfect life. CEO of a startup, traveler, 47K followers. The type of man who would never look at an ordinary girl like me. But he had looked, and there was something in his eyes in the photos. Something familiar, as if I already knew him from somewhere. Thank you, I typed, deleted, typed again. 3 dots appeared on the screen. He was typing. Gabriel, can I ask you a strange question? Have you ever felt like you were living the wrong life? Like your real life was waiting somewhere? My heart raced. How could he know? Me, every day. Gabriel. Then you understand. Most people don't understand. And so it began. 3 weeks later, Gabriel had become my most dangerous addiction. Good morning arrived at 6:23 a.m. sharp, always at the exact moment my alarm went off. How did he know my routine? Coincidence, I told myself, but I no longer believed. In coincidences, Gabriel, you're at the corner bakery, aren't you? Buying that whole grain bread you love. I dropped the bread. I looked around, searching for cameras, for him, for any explanation other than the obvious. He was watching me. Me. How do you know where I am? Gabriel. You told me yesterday that you always buy bread there on Tuesdays. I have a photographic memory for special people. Had I really told him? I couldn't remember. Our conversations blended into a sweet and confusing fog of constant attention, inside jokes, and shared secrets. At home, I opened our chat. 847 messages in 3 weeks. When had I started counting? Gabriel, are you counting our messages? My blood froze. How did he? Gabriel, I'm kidding. I can see you read it immediately. You're anxious like me. I laughed nervously, but something cold settled in my stomach. That night, he called for the first time. Deep voice, seductive, hypnotic. We talked for 4 hours, about everything and nothing. He asked the right questions, knew exactly when to comfort, when to joke, when to stay silent. Have you ever felt watched? I asked in the middle of the night. Why do you ask? I don't know. Sometimes I feel like someone knows me better than I know myself. A long pause. Too long. Maybe, he said finally, you just found someone who really sees you. He seems too perfect, Amanda said, stirring her already cold coffee. Honey, you've been different since you started talking to this Gabriel. Different how? Paranoid, anxious. You're always on your phone, always waiting for his messages. I was about to protest, but my phone vibrated. Instinctively, I grabbed it. Gabriel. Who's that woman at table 7? Seems like she doesn't like me very much. The coffee slipped from my hand, spilling across the table. How does he know where we are? Amanda whispered, her eyes wide. I looked around desperately. No sign of him. No lone man. No obvious cameras. Me. Where are you? Gabriel. At the office. Why? Did something happen? Gabriel. Wait. You were talking about me with her, weren't you? I can imagine from her face. She doesn't know me, but she's already judging me. How does he know my facial expression? Amanda asked, her voice trembling. Gabriel. People like that are toxic for relationships, you know? They plant doubts where there should be trust. Get out of here. Now, Amanda said, grabbing my hand. This isn't normal. but I was already typing. Me. She's my best friend. Gabriel. And I'm the man who loves you. Who do you choose? The question hung on the screen like a death sentence. That night, I blocked Amanda on WhatsApp. 2 months later, my world had shrunk to the size of a phone screen. Gabriel now controlled everything: my schedule, my clothes, even my meal times. It's just care, he said. You're too important to be careless. Gabriel. Don't go to work today. Me. Why? Gabriel. I dreamed something bad would happen. My dreams never lie. And I obeyed. I always obeyed. My parents stopped calling after I spent weeks without answering. You're different, Mom had said in the last call. This boyfriend of yours, we don't even know him. You wouldn't understand, I had replied, repeating his words. Now, sitting alone in the apartment that had become my prison, I counted the hours until his next message. Gabriel. I have a proposal. My heart raced. For weeks he had been mentioning a special project, something that would change our lives. Gabriel. Are you ready for our real life to begin? A video call. For the first time in 2 months, the screen showed an elegant office. Gabriel was there, more handsome than in the photos, but there was something in his eyes, something cold. In the background, 2 men in suits. Love, he said. And his voice sounded different. Calculating. The time has come. It's a unique opportunity, Gabriel explained, his eyes fixed on mine through the screen. A cryptocurrency startup, initial investment of $50,000, guaranteed return of 400% in 6 months. The documents arrived by email. Complex E. Contracts, colorful charts, projections that made my eyes shine with greed and hope. Why me? I asked. Because I trust you, and you trust me. A pause. Don't you? The question was a trap, and we both knew it. Of course I trust you. Then prove it. I stayed awake all night, looking at the contracts. Something was wrong, but I couldn't put my finger on what it was. Maybe it was just fear of the unknown. Maybe it was intuition. I called the bank the next morning. You wish to transfer $50,000? The attendant seemed surprised. That's a considerable amount. Ma'am, are you sure? I looked at Gabriel's photo on my nightstand. Those eyes that seemed to know my soul. I'm sure. I sent a screenshot to Gabriel. Gabriel. You've made me the happiest man in the world. It was the last message I would receive from him. Silence. 3. Days of absolute silence. On the 4th day, I tried to call. The number you have dialed does not exist. Instagram. Profile non-existent. Email. Account not found. It was as if Gabriel had never existed, but the $50,000 didn't exist anymore either. I sat on the floor of my apartment, surrounded by the wreckage of my life. No money, no friends, no family. Alone with the truth crystallizing in my mind like ice. I had been hunted, systematically, meticulously hunted. He knew where I was because he had hacked my phone. He knew my routine because he studied my patterns for weeks. He knew exactly what to say because he had analyzed every post, every photo, every detail of my digital life. I hadn't been the victim of a scam. I had been prey to a predator. With trembling hands, I created a fake profile and started searching. Gabriel Miranda Artificial had left traces, photos stolen from an Italian model, falsified documents, and more victims, many more victims, lonely women, vulnerable, emotionally needy, all with the same story. He said I was special. I wasn't special. I was just a target. 3 months later, I found the courage to unblock Amanda. Where have you been? Was the first thing she said when she answered. In hell, I replied. But I'm back. Epilogue. The warning today, I look back. On this story, not as a victim, but as a survivor. Gabriel is still out there, with another name, another face, another carefully constructed identity. Looking for his next prey? Maybe it's you. Maybe it's someone you love. Digital predators don't wear scary masks or weapons. They wear sweet words, constant attention, and the promise of being exactly what you've always wanted to find. They start with, "You are special." And they end with, "Nothing." If you're reading this and recognizing the signs, if there's someone in your life who came out of nowhere knowing too much about you, isolating you from others, asking for proof of love through money, please listen to your gut. Because sometimes, the most dangerous person in the world is the one who whispers that they love you, and the most effective predator is the one who never shows their claws until it's too late. The end based on true events. Names have been changed to protect victims and alert potential future victims.